Everyone thought my brother had the perfect life with his beautiful wife and his loyal best friend, but I was the only one who noticed the secret looks they shared across the dinner table. My name is Bianca. I am 30 years old. I live in a small apartment. I work in an office. My life is quiet. I live alone. I do not have a boyfriend. Sometimes I feel sad. But I have my family. I love my family very much. My brother is Gideon. I love Gideon. He has a wife. Her name is Imogen. They have 2 small children, a boy and a girl. They have a nice house. The house has a garden. I visit Gideon every weekend. We eat dinner together. We talk. We laugh. I like these times very much. Imogen is a good wife. She is a good mother. She is very kind to me. She cooks good food. Imogen is my good friend. We are like sisters. We talk about everything. We drink coffee together. We go shopping together. I love Imogen. Gideon has a best friend. His name is Emilio. Emilio is like family to us. Emilio grew up with Gideon. They went to school together. They played games together. Emilio is always at Gideon's house. He eats dinner with us every weekend. He plays with the children. The children love Emilio. They call him Uncle Emilio. I like Emilio. He is a kind man. He is a funny man. He makes us laugh. We are all friends. Every weekend is the same. I go to the house. Imogen cooks. The children play. Gideon and Emilio talk. We eat together. We are all happy. Emilio is always there. He helps Imogen in the kitchen. He carries heavy bags. He fixes things in the house. He sits next to Imogen at dinner. I watch everyone. I see Gideon smile. I see Imogen laugh. I see the children play. I am happy for them. Gideon has a good life. His family is happy. Everything looks perfect. But sometimes I feel strange. I look at their happy family. I am happy for them. But I am alone. I have no husband. I have no children. This makes me sad sometimes. Emilio and Imogen talk a lot. They laugh together. They look very happy when they talk. I think this is okay. They are good friends. But I still feel strange. Something feels not right. I do not want to think bad things. I love my family. I want them to be happy. I do not say anything. I smile. Then I go home. I am alone again. This is my life. I do not know the truth. Soon everything will change. Weeks passed. I went to Gideon's house every weekend. The house looked the same. The children played. Imogen cooked. Gideon worked. Emilio visited. But I started to see new things. I saw Emilio look at Imogen. He looked at her for a long time. Imogen looked back at Emilio. They did this when they thought I did not see. Their eyes met. They smiled small smiles. Then they looked away fast. This happened many times. I saw other things too. Emilio and Imogen talked very quietly sometimes. They laughed at things. Gideon and I did not know why they laughed. They had secret jokes. One day Gideon asked them. He said, "What is funny?" Imogen just smiled. She did not answer. Emilio said, "It is nothing, just an old story." Gideon did not ask more questions. Emilio called Imogen many times. I saw this. His phone rang. Imogen's phone rang. They sent many text messages. I saw the messages on Imogen's phone. The screen showed Emilio's name many times. Imogen told me about the calls. She said Emilio asks about Gideon. He asks about work. He wants to help Gideon. This sounded okay. This sounded normal. I believed Imogen. She was my friend. Why would she lie to me? Emilio came to the house more and more. He visited 3 or 4 times every week. Sometimes Gideon was at work. Emilio still came to the house. He said he wanted to help Imogen. He fixed the door. He fixed the window. He played with the children. He carried heavy bags from the car. He did many jobs. Imogen said thank you to Emilio. She said Emilio was very kind. She said he was a good friend. Gideon was happy about this. Gideon said, Emilio is my best friend. Emilio is like a brother, but I felt strange. It was too much help. Why did Emilio come so many times? Why did he stay for a long time? Why did he come when Gideon was not home? I told myself you are wrong. I said they are only friends. Emilio is like family. This is normal. I wanted to believe this. I did not want problems. I did not want to make people sad. My feelings were small. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I saw things that were not real, but the strange feelings did not go away. The feelings got stronger. I could not stop the feelings. I watched Emilio and Imogen. I watched very carefully. I looked at everything. I looked at their eyes. I looked at their hands. I looked at how they stood together. It was Imogen's birthday. We had a party at Gideon's house. All friends were there. We ate cake. It was chocolate cake. We gave Imogen gifts. Gideon gave Imogen a gold necklace. It was very beautiful. She smiled. She kissed Gideon. She said, "Thank you, my love." I gave Imogen a book. She wanted this book. She hugged me. She said, "Thank you, Bianca. You are a good sister." Then Emilio gave his gift. It was a small box. The box was blue. Imogen opened the box slowly. Inside there was a silver bracelet. It was very beautiful. It had small blue stones. The stones were the same color as Imogen's eyes. Imogen's face changed. She looked very surprised. She looked very, very happy. Her eyes were big. She said, "Emilio, how did you know? I love this bracelet." Her voice was soft. I did not understand. Gideon did not understand. He asked, "No, what? What do you mean?" Imogen said, "I saw this bracelet in a shop many months ago. I loved it so much, but I did not tell anyone. I just looked at it." She looked at Emilio. Her eyes were soft. She said, "How did you remember?" Emilio smiled. He said, "I listen to you. I watch you. I remember everything." Imogen hugged Emilio. It was a long hug, too long. I felt cold inside. My stomach felt bad. Gideon did not know about the bracelet, but Emilio knew. How did Emilio know? When did Imogen tell Emilio about the bracelet? The party went on. People talked. People laughed. But I could not stop thinking. I watched Emilio and Imogen all night. They stood very close together. Their arms touched. They talked very quietly. Only they could hear. Later we cleaned the kitchen. Imogen washed the plates. Emilio dried the plates. I put the plates away. Gideon was in the living room. He played with the children. Emilio looked at Imogen. He touched her hand. He held her hand for 1 second. Then he let go. Imogen looked at Emilio. She smiled a small, soft smile. Her eyes looked happy. Her eyes looked full of love. I saw this. My heart beat very fast. This was not a normal touch. This touch was special. This touch meant something. They did not see me standing there. I did not move. I did not talk. I just watched. I put the plates away very slowly. Another day, we were all in the living room. Imogen had something small on her face. Maybe it was food. I do not know. Emilio moved fast. He touched her face. He cleaned her face very softly, very gently. His hand stayed on her face for a moment. Imogen closed her eyes. Then she opened her eyes. She looked at Emilio. Gideon was in the room. He sat on the chair. He read a newspaper. He did not see, but I saw. I saw everything. My stomach felt sick. My hands were cold. Something was very wrong here. I knew it now. This was not a normal friendship. This was something else. This was something bad. But what could I do? I did not have proof. I only saw small things. I only had feelings. Maybe I was still wrong. Maybe my eyes saw wrong things. Maybe my mind made up stories. I went home. I thought about all the small things. The looks, the touches, the secret jokes, the phone calls, the birthday gift, the way they stood together, the way they smiled at each other. One thing was small, but all the things together made a big picture. This picture made me afraid. This picture made me sick. I loved my brother Gideon. I loved Imogen. Emilio was our friend, but something bad was happening. I felt this in my heart. I felt this in my stomach. I decided to watch more. I needed to know the true story. I needed to be sure, because if I was right, everything would be broken. Everything would end. Our family would be destroyed. 2 weeks passed. My bad feelings were very strong now. I could not stop thinking. I thought about Emilio and Imogen all the time. I thought about Gideon, poor Gideon. He did not know anything. One Tuesday, I finished work early. My boss said, "You can go home." I was tired. I wanted to walk. I wanted fresh air. I walked to the park. The park was near my work. It was a quiet place. I liked this park. I walked on a path. There were many trees. The trees were big and green. Not many people were there. The air was good. I walked slowly. I looked at the trees. I looked at the flowers. I thought about my life. I thought about Gideon. I thought about Imogen. I thought about Emilio. Then I saw them. I saw Emilio and Imogen. They sat on a bench. The bench was far away. It was under a big tree. They did not see me. They sat very, very close. Their bodies touched. Emilio held Imogen's hand. Imogen put her head on Emilio's shoulder. I stopped walking. I felt very cold. All my body was cold. I could not move. I could not breathe. I just stood there. I watched them. Emilio looked at Imogen. He touched her face with his hand. He looked in her eyes. Then he kissed her. It was not a friend kiss. It was a long kiss. A real kiss. A love kiss. Imogen kissed Emilio back. Her hand touched his hair. They held each other very close. They were together, like a man and woman in love. I felt terrible. My heart felt broken. I felt sick. I wanted to shout. I wanted to scream. But I made no sound. I stood behind a tree. They did not see me. They kissed again. And again. They talked very quietly. I could not hear the words, but I saw their faces. They looked so happy. They looked in love. Their eyes were soft. Their smiles were real. My eyes had water. Tears came down my face. I cried. My hands shook. I felt so scared. This was real. This was true. This was not my imagination. Emilio and Imogen were together. They loved each other. They were having a relationship behind Gideon's back. Behind my back, they lied to us. Every day they lied. I turned around. I walked away fast. I did not want to see more. I could not watch anymore. My legs moved fast. I almost ran. I went home. I closed my door. I locked it. I sat on my bed. I cried very much. I cried and cried and cried. This was very, very bad. Imogen is Gideon's wife. Emilio is Gideon's best friend. Gideon loved them both so much. He trusted them. He thought they were good people. But they were together. Gideon did not know. It was a secret. A terrible secret. They did this when Gideon was at work. They met in the park. They kissed. They held each other. They lied to Gideon every single day. I felt so angry. Very angry. Why did they do this? How could they lie to Gideon? How could they hurt my brother? My good brother. My kind brother. I also felt sad. So sad. My family was not happy now. My family had a terrible secret. Everything was fake. Everything was a lie. And I felt hurt. Imogen was my friend. I loved her like a sister. I told her my secrets. I trusted her. She lied to me. She looked in my eyes and lied. Every day, every week, for months. Emilio was our friend. He ate food with us. He played with the children. He smiled at Gideon. He called Gideon his best friend. He kissed Gideon's wife. He touched her. He held her. I felt so sick. I felt so bad. Everything was a lie. Our whole family was a lie. I thought about Gideon. My good, kind brother. He knew nothing. He was happy. He loved his wife. He loved his best friend. He trusted them completely. This truth would hurt him so much. It would make him very, very sad. It would break his heart. It would end his marriage. It would end his friendship. It would change his whole life. What could I do? Should I tell Gideon? He needed to know. This was his life. This was his wife. This was his family. He had a right to know the truth, but if I told him, everything would be destroyed. The family would break. The children would be sad. Gideon would be very, very hurt. He would never be the same. Maybe I should be quiet. Maybe I should not talk. Maybe I should keep the secret. But then I must lie too. I must see them. I must smile at them. My smile would be fake. I must watch them lie to Gideon. Every dinner, every weekend, every time we were together, could I do that? Could I live with this secret? Could I watch my brother love them when they betrayed him? Could I look in Gideon's eyes and say nothing? I could not eat. I could not sleep. I stayed in my bed. My head hurt. My heart hurt. My mind thought and thought and thought. Tell Gideon. Do not tell Gideon. Tell him. Do not tell him. Save him. Protect him. But hurt him. Destroy everything. I saw Gideon's face in my head. His smile. His kind eyes. His laugh. He was a good man. He was my brother. He was my best friend growing up. He needed to know the truth. But the truth was so bad. It would hurt him so much. So very much. I did not want to hurt him. I loved him. I cried again. This was so hard. This was the hardest thing in my life. I felt very small, very weak, very scared. How could I do this? How could I destroy my brother's life? But I had to choose. Be quiet and lie, or talk and tell the truth. There was no middle way. There was no easy way. I wanted to help my brother. I wanted to protect him. But how? What was the right thing to do? The night was very long. I did not sleep. I thought all night. In the morning I knew what I had to do. I had to tell Gideon. He was my brother. He deserved the truth. 3 days passed. I did not visit Gideon's house. I called Gideon. I said, I am sick. I cannot come. Gideon said, okay. Feel better. I love you. I stayed home. I was alone. I did not eat much. I did not work well. I only thought about Emilio and Imogen and Gideon. What should I do? How should I do it? On the 4th day, I made a plan. I cannot be quiet. Gideon must know the truth. He is my brother. I love him more than anything. But I cannot tell Gideon first. That is too cruel. I must talk to Imogen first. I must talk to Emilio first. I need to hear their words. I need to give them a chance to explain. I called Imogen. My hands shook. I said, can we meet? Only you and me. My voice was cold. Imogen heard my voice. She sounded worried. She said yes. Okay, when? We met at a coffee shop. The coffee shop was far away. People did not know us there. Imogen sat down. She tried to smile. She said, Bianca, are you okay? You look tired. You look sick. I did not smile. I looked in her eyes. I said, I saw you. My voice was hard. Her face changed. Her smile disappeared. She said, what do you mean? But her voice was scared. She already knew. I said, I saw you and Emilio in the park. Last Tuesday, I saw everything. Imogen's face turned very white. All the color left her face. She did not talk. She just stared at me. I said, you kissed him. You held him. I saw everything. Do not lie to me now. Imogen looked down at the table. Her hands shook. She was quiet for a long time. The coffee shop was loud, but our table was silent. Then she said, it is not what you think. Her voice was very small. I was angry. I said, "Do not lie to me. Not now. Not anymore. I saw you. I know the truth." Imogen started to cry. Tears ran down her face. She said, "Please, Bianca, please do not tell Gideon. Please." I could not believe this. I said, "How can you ask me that? He is my brother. He is your husband. You married him. You have children with him." Imogen cried more. She put her hands over her face. She said, "I love Emilio. I cannot help it. It just happened. I did not plan this. I felt sick, really sick." Imogen was quiet again. Then she said, 6 months, maybe more. 6 months, half a year. All those dinners, all those smiles, all those lies, all those times Emilio came to the house, all those times they looked at each other. My stomach hurt so much. I said, "Gideon loves you. He trusts you. He works hard for you and the children. How could you do this to him?" Imogen put her face in her hands again. She cried hard. She said, "I know. I know it is wrong. I know I am a terrible person, but I cannot stop. I tried to stop. I really tried. But I love Emilio." I said, "And Emilio, Gideon's best friend, his brother. How could he do this? They grew up together. Gideon loves him." Imogen looked up. Her eyes were red. She said, "Do not just blame Emilio. I love him too. We both did this. It is both of us." I was so angry. I said, "You are both terrible. You are both liars. You destroyed our family. You destroyed everything." Imogen reached for my hand. I pulled my hand away. I did not want her to touch me. She said, "Please, Bianca, please give me time. I will tell Gideon myself. I promise. Just give me a few weeks. Let me find the right way." I stood up. I said, "No, I am telling him. Today. Right now." Imogen stood up too. She looked scared. She said, "Bianca, wait. Please think about this. Think about the children. They will be so hurt." I said, "You did not think about the children. You kissed Emilio. You lied to everyone. You thought about yourself, only yourself." I left the coffee shop. Imogen cried. She called my name. I did not look back. I walked to my car. My whole body shook. I sat in my car. I called Emilio. I said, "We must talk right now. Today." Emilio said, "Okay." His voice was quiet. We met near his apartment. I got in his car. We sat there. Emilio looked very worried. I said, "I know about you and Imogen. I saw you in the park. I know everything." Emilio closed his eyes. He took a long, deep breath. He put his head in his hands. He said, "Bianca, I can explain. Please let me explain." I said, "Explain what?" "You love my brother's wife. You kiss her. You lie to him every day. Explain that." Emilio said, "I never wanted this. I tried to stay away from her. I really tried. But Imogen and I fell in love. It just happened." I said, "Gideon is your best friend? You grew up together. You call him your brother. How could you do this to him?" Emilio looked very sad. He said, "I know. I feel terrible. Every single day I feel terrible. I hate myself, but I love Imogen. I cannot change that. I cannot stop loving her. I said, so you chose her. You chose her over Gideon, over our family, over everything. Emilio said, it is not that simple. Love is not simple. I said, it is simple. You made a choice. A terrible choice. He just looked out the window. His eyes looked empty. I said, I am telling Gideon today. He must know the truth. You had months to tell him. You did nothing, so I will tell him. Emilio looked at me. His face was very white. He said, Bianca, please. Let me tell him. Give me 1 day. Just 1 day. I will tell him tomorrow. I said, no. You had 6 months. You chose to lie. I am telling him now. Today. I got out of the car. Emilio did not follow me. I drove away. My hands shook on the wheel. I drove to Gideon's house. My heart beat so fast. This was the hardest thing I ever did in my life, but I had to do it. Gideon deserved the truth. Gideon opened the door. He smiled his big, happy smile. He said, Bianca, you feel better. Good, come in. I went inside. The house smelled like dinner. Imogen was cooking. The children played upstairs. I heard their little voices. They sounded so happy, so innocent. I said, Gideon, we must talk. Alone. Please. Gideon saw my face. He stopped smiling. He looked worried. He said, what is wrong? Are you okay? We went to his office. I closed the door. We sat down. Gideon looked at me. He said, Bianca, you are scaring me. What happened? I took a deep breath. I looked in his eyes. I said, Gideon, I have something to tell you. Something very bad. Gideon said, what is it? Tell me. Are you sick? Is Mom okay? Is Dad okay? I said, no. It is not about me. It is not about Mom and Dad. It is about Imogen. And Emilio? Gideon's face changed. He looked confused. He said, what about them? Are they okay? Did something happen? I said the words, the terrible words, the words that would change everything. They are together, Gideon. Imogen and Emilio. They are in love. I saw them. They kissed. I talked to them. It is true. Gideon looked at me. He did not speak. He just stared at me. Then he said, what? No. That is not possible. You are wrong. You made a mistake. I said, I am not wrong. I saw them in the park. They kissed. They held each other. I talked to Imogen today. She told me everything. It has been 6 months, Gideon. 6 months. Gideon stood up fast. His chair fell down. He said, no. No, you are lying. Imogen loves me. Emilio is my brother. You are wrong. You must be wrong. Tears came to my eyes. I said, I am so sorry. I wish I was wrong, but I am not. I am so sorry, Gideon. Gideon's face turned red. He looked so angry, so hurt. He shouted at me. He said, get out. Get out of my house. I said, Gideon, please listen. He shouted louder. Get out. Get out now. I do not want to see you. Imogen ran into the room. She heard the shouting. She said, "What is happening?" "Gideon, what is wrong?" Gideon looked at her. His face was terrible. His eyes were full of pain. He said, "Is it true? Are you with Emilio? Tell me the truth." Imogen looked at me. Then she looked at Gideon. Tears filled her eyes. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. Gideon said again louder, "Is it true? Answer me." Imogen started to cry. She said, "Yes, I am so sorry. I am so sorry, Gideon." Gideon made a sound. It was a terrible sound, like a wounded animal, like something dying. He said, "Get out, both of you. Get out of my house now." I left very fast. I heard Gideon shout. I heard things break. I heard Imogen cry. I heard the children cry upstairs. They were scared. I got in my car. My hands shook so much I could barely drive. I went home. I sat in the dark. I cried for hours and hours. Everything was broken now. Everything was destroyed. The family was destroyed. Gideon's heart was destroyed. And it was all because of me. I told the truth, but the truth destroyed everything. My phone rang many times. Imogen called. Emilio called. I did not answer. I turned off my phone. Gideon did not call at all. Days passed. I heard what happened. My mother called me. She told me. Imogen moved out. She went to live with her sister in another city. Emilio stopped coming around. Gideon stayed in the house with the children. He took time off work. Gideon did not talk to me. He did not call. He did not answer my calls. My mother said, "He is very angry with you, Bianca. He said you destroyed his family. He said you should have stayed quiet." This hurt me so much. I did the right thing. I know I did. Gideon needed to know the truth, but Gideon did not see it this way. I felt terrible. I felt so guilty. I felt so alone. My family was gone. My brother hated me. Imogen hated me. Emilio hated me. I had no one now. I stayed home. I went to work. I came home. That was my life. Empty and quiet and sad. Everything fell apart, and I was in the middle of all the broken pieces, alone. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to Teddy English Story for more amazing stories. See you next time.